Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Mikel Arteta has been urged not to start Fabio Vieira. Paul Merson has urged Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta to play Emile Smith Rowe against Manchester United if Martin Odegaard can't feature. The Gunners legend, writing on Sportskida, believes it would be a big ask for Fabio Vieira to start at number 10. Arsenal head to Manchester United on Sunday in one of the most highly anticipated Premier League fixtures of the season. Over the years, these two titans of English football have played out many memorable encounters. Although neither club has been challenging for the title in recent years, it's still a huge fixture. And with Arsenal now early possessors for the title and United hoping to surge back up the table, the stakes are now a lot higher for both sides. The Gunners will want to send a message to the rest of the division, while United will want another top scalp after beating Liverpool recently. Odegaard is currently a doubt for Arsenal after suffering pain in the victory over Aston Villa. At Friday's press conference, Arteta said, "Those two, Ramsdale and Odegaard, are being assessed. We will see more tomorrow. Hopefully, they will be able to train with the team." And Merson feels Smith Rowe should start over Vieira if Arteta can't select the captain. The £34 million summer signing is yet to make his competitive debut for Arsenal. Merson wrote, "If Odegaard is injured, I'd go with Emile Smith Rowe. For Fabio Vieira to start this Premier League game is a big ask. Arsenal can't afford to lose, and they don't need to win this game right now. A draw should suffice." Kiran Tierney suggests Arsenal have struck gold with 24-year-old. Arsenal defender Kieran Tierney has praised Gunners teammate Aaron Ramsdale in conversation with Goal.com. The Arsenal fullback has named Ramsdale as the best joker in the Gunners dressing room. Tierney reckons the Gunners goalkeeper is a great addition to the team on and off the pitch. Ramsdale enjoyed a superb maiden season at Arsenal after joining from Sheffield United last summer. He quickly dethroned Bernd Leno as the Gunners' first choice stopper. Ramsdale made 37 appearances for Mikel Arteta's side last season, keeping 14 clean sheets. This season, the 24-year-old has hit the ground running again, helping Arsenal to top spot in the Premier League table. Ramsdale has kept 2 clean sheets and conceded just 4 goals in 5 top-flight outings, as well as his impressive game. He is also well known for his passionate celebrations after Arsenal goals and victories. Tierney, speaking on Goal.com's Simply the Best, quickly nominated Ramsdale as his pick for best joker. "Ramsdale, probably," said Tierney. "He's always up to something." Tierney then lauded Ramsdale for his contributions on the pitch and in the dressing room, being a great addition to the team, and you can see that on the park as well. But off the park, he is a great teammate. When Arsenal signed Ramsdale last summer, his arrival was met by a very mixed reaction. However, he didn't take long to become a fan favourite and cement his place as the Gunners' number 1. Better still, Ramsdale is still very young, particularly in goalkeeping terms, so if all goes well, Arsenal could easily get another 10, maybe 15 years out of him. Kiran Tierney says Emile Smith Rowe is always the best in Arsenal training sessions. In a video on Goal's YouTube channel, Kieran Tierney has named Emile Smith Rowe as the best player in Arsenal training every day. The Scotsman is one of the hardest workers at Arsenal. He is regarded by many as the best trainer at London Conley. Even Smith Rowe thinks that, as per his comments from about a week ago. Now Tierney has given it back to the Englishman. Tierney featured in a video on Goal's YouTube channel where he answered a number of quick-fire questions. From the best player he's played with to the best goal he has ever scored, he revealed it all, but his claim on Smith Rowe is what caught our eye. When asked to name the best player in Arsenal training sessions every day, Tierney immediately named the 22-year-old Englishman. Tierney said, "The best player in training would be Emile Smith Rowe. The fans can see how good he is, but by training with him every day, you realize how special he is. He can take the ball under pressure, he can beat a man, he can score goals and he can get assists, so he is a great player and I love playing with him." Along with Bukayo Saka, Smith Rowe became one of the key faces of Mikel Arteta's Arsenal in the Spaniard's first full season as the Gunners manager. The young Englishman has been absolutely incredible for the Gunners over the last 2 years. He scored 11 goals in all competitions last season, but he's yet to start a game this term. Small injuries and fitness issues have really troubled Smith Rowe, while the tremendous form of Gabriel Martinelli and Martin Odegaard has pushed him down the pecking order. That's the reason why he has only played 31 minutes of football this season. But with the Europa League kicking off next week, we are sure he will get his first start there. Mikel Arteta says he is a massive fan of Hector Bellerin. Mikel Arteta has been asked about the deadline day move, which took Hector Bellerin to Barcelona from Arsenal. The Spaniard used to play with his countryman at Arsenal and said that they shared one final conversation on the phone before he left. Arteta was speaking at his pre-match press conference ahead of the huge weekend clash with bitter rivals Manchester United. Late on in the transfer window, Bellerin finally completed the exit from the Emirates Stadium, which was projected throughout the summer. He called me really late last night. That was more a conversation like we used to have when we're teammates and really good friends, he said. Take the coaching and the player situation out of it a little bit and get back into that relationship as well. I love the kid. I love what he has done for the club. He's someone I have really strong feelings about. I know it's one of his dreams to play there, and hopefully he can fulfill his dreams and get back his career where he can, because he's still very young and has a lot to do. Bellerin came through the ranks at Barcelona before he moved to Arsenal, where he made his breakthrough in professional football. Xavi needed a right back throughout the summer and has finally got one through the door after moving out Serginho Dest. It's clear that Arteta holds Bellerin in high esteem and wants to see him kick on once again after losing his way at Arsenal. Reiss Nelson told he'll get first team chance this season. Arsenal winger Reiss Nelson has reportedly received assurances that he's in the Gunners' first team picture this season. This is according to The Athletic, who discussed Arsenal's transfer business in wake of the window shutting. The Gunners have enjoyed a fruitful transfer window, bringing in the likes of Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko. However, Arsenal failed to get any deals over the line on deadline day, despite reportedly eyeing a midfielder and a winger. The Gunners tried to sign Douglas Luiz, but they failed to reach an agreement with Aston Villa. Now, Arsenal could well turn to Nelson, who can play on the flanks and at number 10. According to The Athletic, Nelson has received assurances he will be given a chance to compete for a place once he has proven his fitness. Nelson broke into the Arsenal first team in 2017 under Arsene Wenger. He has made 48 competitive appearances for the Gunners, but has struggled to cement a regular starting spot. Nelson has had 2 loan spells while at Arsenal, at Hoffenheim, and last season at Feyenoord. The 22-year-old had superb potential. Emile Smith Rowe recently said Nelson was the standout in his age group. Meanwhile, the Bundesliga website compared his style of play to that of Serge Gnabry ahead of his Hoffenheim loan. Nelson is a difficult player to find a comparison for, mainly because he can do everything at a high level, they wrote. His pace is electrifying, especially when he's showcasing his enormous dribbling ability, but he's by no means an out-and-out winger. Nelson often drifts inside the pitch and uses his unexpectedly impressive passing skill with through the ball or even link-up play to allow himself a chance at running in behind the opposition defense. His end product is inconsistent, but at his age, this is the attribute that can be honed over time at a top-level Bundesliga club, an exciting prospect for Nagelsmann, Hoffenheim and Nelson himself. TalkSPORT pundit in awe of one Arsenal signing and can't believe Chelsea didn't sign him. TalkSPORT pundit Gobi Agbonlahor has lauded Arsenal's signing of Gabriel Jesus and questioned why Chelsea didn't buy him. Jesus has made a fine start to life as an Arsenal player, helping the Gunners to the top of the table with some inspired performances at the top of the pitch. He's known to have improved the quality and intensity of training, and alongside fellow ex-City player Alexander Zinchenko is driving Arsenal forward. And speaking about the different signing in the transfer window this summer, Agbonlahor told TalkSPORT that he feels that Jesus will be the best striker at Arsenal since they had Thierry Henry. 10 out of 10, absolute still. Chelsea could have got Gabriel Jesus, but they got Cucurella. Make it make sense. What he's going to do for Arsenal, best striker they have had since Thierry Henry for me, I rate him that highly, Agbon Lahore said. Of course, living up to an Henry comparison is quite the challenge, but Jesus will relish the chance to impress everyone at the Emirates and will see it as his duty to score goals and bring success. David Ornstein reveals Arsenal's top deadline day target wasn't Douglas Luiz. The athletic David Ornstein has been speaking about Arsenal and claims that there were other targets as well as Douglas Luiz on deadline day. The Gunners went right to the deadline to try and sign Luiz from Villa. However, despite bidding up to around £25 million for the midfielder, Villa stuck to their guns and denied Arsenal. Of course, Arsenal had a fine window in the main as they made a number of fine signings. And while it was Luiz whose name dominated deadline day, David Ornstein has revealed it was actually Wolves winger Pedro Neto was the main target throughout the final weeks. Luiz became the focus of Arsenal's attention on deadline day. I am not sure he was previously because initially Arsenal were looking to bring in a wide attacker after sanctioning Nicolas Pepe's loan move to Nice. That left them one winger down and their top target was Pedro Neto of Wolves, Ornstein said on the 5 Insider show. But it was always going to be really tricky as Wolves never had any intention or desire to sell him, and if they were going to, the asking price was going to be huge, and we said they had other options. Madrid, as Shakhtar was one of them. Ornstein went to add that an injury to Mohamed El-Neni had changed Arsenal's plans, while Thomas Partey's fitness is also a concern for Mikel Arteta. There is no chance that Pedro Neto simply disappears off the radar for Arsenal as it stands. Neto has too much quality for Arsenal to ignore, and if he has another good season, interest will be high. It's no surprise to see Arsenal so keen on Neto, though the Portuguese starlet is quite the talent and on his day he can be one of the very best wingers in the Premier League. Arsenal are already working on deal to sign complete midfielder in January. Arsenal did not sign a central midfielder on deadline day, but are already working on a deal to sign Danilo in January. The Independent report that the Palmeiras midfielder was not a realistic prospect on the final day of the summer transfer window. He is likely to make a winter move to the Emirates Stadium, and the groundwork has already been laid over the potential deal. Douglas Luiz was the main priority target, but the fact he did not come in leaves the door open for Danilo in early 2023. Of course, it may depend on the situation Arsenal find themselves in during January, by which time the World Cup will have of course happened too. They are currently top of the Premier League, but the Europa League is about to kick back in, meaning it's 3 games a week now. That may stretch a squad which currently has just 2 fit central midfielders at present, but by January, the injury situations of Mo El-Neni and Thomas Partey will be more clear. Yuri Tielemans is another player who could be an option in January, and like Luiz, he's into the final year of his current contract. It remains to be seen who comes to the top of the transfer wish list in the winter, with another winger to give cover and competition to Bukayo Saka also an option. The transfer operation at Arsenal will not stand still. They will keep on planning for subsequent transfer windows as soon as the previous one has passed. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.